my name is Bhumika Chauhan. Welcome back to our channel, and in today's video, I am going to explain the chapter A Triumph of Surgery. Such a beautiful chapter. It is written by James Herriot and it's a humorous story about a pampered dog named Tricky, okay, and his owner, Mrs. Pumphrey. So these are the two main characters. Then Tricky becomes ill because of overfeeding and lack of exercise, and Mr. Herriot, the veterinary surgeon, helps him recover through a simple and disciplined routine. Okay, so the story teaches us the importance of balance, discipline, and I think proper care. So it's a beautiful chapter, and I hope that you will definitely love the explanation part, and you will definitely love the message at the end of the story. So let's get started. I was really worried about Tricky. This time, I had pulled up my car when I saw him in the street with his mistress, and I was shocked at his appearance. So what is happening here? Mr. Herriot was really worried. Worried means he was very anxious, very worried about Tricky this time. And he had pulled up. Pulled up means stopped his car when he saw Tricky walking in the street with his mistress. And when he saw, mistress means his female owner, that is Mrs. Pumphrey, and he was shocked by Tricky's appearance, like the way he looked, because the dog looked extremely unhealthy. And because he is a veterinary surgeon, so he was very much, disturbed after seeing Tricky in such a state, right? So he had become hugely fat, like a bloated sausage with each leg at a corner. So his eyes, bloodshot and rheumy, stared straight ahead, and his tongue lolled from his jaws. So Tricky had become hugely fat, like extremely overweight. Okay, and Mr. Herriot humorously over here compared him to a bloated sausage. Okay, so bloated as in swollen, and sausage like with the 4 legs. So he was like this. Right, and his eyes were rheumy, bloodshot, stared straight ahead, and his tongue lolled from his jaws. So basically his eyes were bloodshot, that means his eyes were red, and rheumy means watery. Okay, while his tongue over here lolled means hung loosely from his jaws. Jaws means mouth. So this clearly showed that Tricky had become very unhealthy. Okay everyone, Mrs. Pumphrey hastened to explain. He was so listless, Mr. Herriot. He seemed to have no energy. I thought he must be suffering from malnutrition. She's saying he must be suffering from malnutrition. So I have been giving him some little extras between meals to build him up. So because of the extra weight, because he was overweight, there must be I think overweight must be the reason of the laziness, like he was not that active. Right, so Mrs. Pumphrey quickly tried to explain Mr. Herriot Tricky's condition, and she said that he was listless, he's not doing anything, he's weak and lacking energy. And I think over here she wrongly thought that he was suffering from malnutrition. Malnutrition as in poor health because of improper or insufficient diet. So to make him stronger, she had started giving him extra food between meals, which is like a disaster. Okay, so yes, so she was giving him some malt and cod liver oil and a bowl of Horlicks at night to make him sleep. Nothing much really. So to build him up, like this is the important part of the chapter, right? They are going to ask you in the question answers that what she was giving Tricky to build him up. Okay, so And did you cut down on the sweet things as I told you? So over here, Mrs. Pumphrey is explaining Mr. Harriet that because he's feeling weak, he's not that active, she is giving she's giving Tricky malt, she's giving it cod liver oil, Horlicks at night, believing that these things would build him up. Build him up means make him stronger. So she casually says that it was nothing much, right? She's saying that it was nothing much. Really? Although it was actually far too much food. And Mr. Harriet asks whether she had reduced the sweets as we had, previously advised. So this line shows that Mr. Harriet has warned Mrs. Pumphrey before that you should not give Tricky sweets, you should not give Tricky these junk items because he's getting overweight. Oh, I did for a bit, but he seemed to be so weak, I had to relent. He does love ice cream cakes and chocolates, so I can't bear to refuse him. Over here, Mrs. Pumphrey says that she reduced Tricky's sweets for a while, right? But he seemed to be so weak for a bit, right? For a while as in for a short time. But then she relented. I had to relent. Relent means gave in, right? Because she thought he was weak, and since Tricky loved cream cakes and chocolates, she could not tolerate refusing, them to him. So obviously her excessive love was actually harming Tricky, right? You have seen over pampered kids also, right? They are out of control, right? They are stubborn, they do not listen, they just eat all day, they just sit and play games all day, they talk back, they do not have any manners, they do not have any discipline. So Tricky is the same case. Okay, so yes, well, he has his little walks with me. No, where we were. Okay, I looked down at the little dog. That was the trouble. Tricky's only fault was greed. He had never been known to refuse food. He would tackle a meal at any hour of the day or night, and I wondered about all the things Mrs. Pumphrey had not mentioned. So over here, the main reason is that Tricky never refused food and would tackle a meal as in eat a meal at any time, whether day or night. So the problem was therefore not malnutrition but overfeeding, right? Are you giving him plenty of exercise? Well, he has little walks with me, as you can see, but Hogging, the gardener, has been down with lumbago, so there has been no ring throwing lately. So, over here, what is happening? He's saying that, and I wondered about all the things Mrs. Pumphrey had not mentioned, right? So, these are the things that she's mentioning, she's been giving. So, Mr. Harriet suspects that Mrs. Pumphrey had not told him everything about Tricky's lifestyle, right? He asks whether Tricky gets proper exercise, enough exercise. So Mrs. Pumphrey says that she takes him for these little walks, and because Hogging, the gardener, who used to play ring throwing with Tricky, he's also not well. He is down with lumbago. So right now there is no exercise going on with Tricky. So I think Tricky is in danger at this point of time. He is not doing well. And because of the overweight, because of overfeeding, because of over pampering, because of lack of exercise, all these things are happening. And over here, Mrs. Pumphrey is not realizing that she is actually causing harm to Tricky, right? This is not love. If you are giving sugar to a sugar patient just because you love him or love her, that means you're not actually doing the right thing. So Mrs. Pumphrey explains that Tricky used to play ring throwing, but the gardener Hogging had lumbago. Lumbago, what is? Pain in the lower back. Okay, and could not play with him. Therefore, Tricky was getting even less exercise. Okay. Now, I tried some sounds. You can clearly see Tricky's situation here, right? Can you see Tricky's situation here? Yes. So she is Mrs. Pumphrey, Tricky, and our veterinary surgeon, Mr. Harriet. So I tried to sound severe. Now I really mean this. If you do not cut his food right down and give him more exercise, he's going to be really ill. You must harden your heart and keep him on a very strict diet. So Mr. Harriet tries to sound severe as in serious, strict. That he tells Mrs. Pumphrey that she must greatly reduce Tricky's food and give him more exercise. This is the need of the hour. He tells her to, to be firm and stop giving him, Tricky, all these junk and all these food, all these items that she's been giving. And she needs to follow a strict diet, a controlled food plan. Definitely for Tricky if she wants him to be active again, right? Because all these things are only deteriorating his condition. So, yes, on a very strict diet. Mrs. Pumphrey wrung her head. Oh, I will, Mr. Harriet. I am sure you're right, but it is so difficult, so very difficult. She set off head down along the road as if determined to put the new regime into practice immediately. So over here, because Mr. Harriet said all these things in a stern manner, in a serious tone, she was like, Mrs. Pumphrey was like, Mrs. Pumphrey showed worry, like wrung her head. That means she showed worry and distress, and promised that she will follow the doctor's advice. And however, she found it very difficult basically to control Tricky's food, and she walked away, right? She set off head down along the road, and she walked away with her head down, apparently like she firmly decided to follow the new regime, like the new planned diet and exercise routine, right? So, but Mr. Harriet was like, he was not satisfied. He was like, I don't think like she'll be able to do all these. She'll be able to, she'll be able to practice all the advice, or she'll be able to practice all the things that I told her. Right? He was like, I have already warned her before, but I don't think she's taking it seriously, right? I watched their progress with growing concern. Tricky was tottering along in his little tweed coat. He had a whole wardrobe of these coats for the cold weather and a raincoat for the wet days. He struggled on drooping in his harness. I thought it wouldn't be long before I heard from Mrs. Pumphrey. So Mr. Harriet watched them with increasing worry, and Tricky was basically walking unsteadily like this in a, in a thick, I guess, in a whole wardrobe over here, tweed coat, a thick woolen fabric coat. And Mrs. Pumphrey had entire wardrobe, like collection of clothes for him, including like coats for cold weather and a raincoat also. So this shows how excessively she pampered Tricky. Right? This is like next level pampering, right? Do you have a separate wardrobe, like a wardrobe of coats and then raincoats and then pillows and then all these caps and all these knots and everything? No, right? So he struggled on drooping in his harness. I thought it would be long before I heard from Mrs. Pumphrey. So Mr. Harriet, so Tricky over here struggled to walk, and he was basically drooping in his harness. That means hanging down weakly like this in his harness, right? So harness is basically the strap they used to control a dog, right? So Mr. Harriet expected basically that Tricky would soon become worse. The situation is going to get worse, and he was right that within a few days Mrs. Pumphrey called him, right? The expected call came within a few days. Mrs. Pumphrey was distraught. Tricky would eat nothing, refused even his favorite dishes, and besides, he had bouts of vomiting. He spent all his time lying on a rug, panting, didn't want to go for walks, didn't want to do anything. So, obviously, the condition of Tricky got worse, and Mrs. Pumphrey was now extremely worried, and she was like, she's distraught, right? And Tricky had basically stopped eating all his favorite food, right? He was refusing his favorite foods, and he also had like vomiting, like short periods of vomiting. So he spent all his time lying on a rug and panting as in he was breathing heavily. He was not able to breathe properly, right? Because of the overweight, because of all this junk. I had made my plans in advance. The only way was to get Tricky out of the house for a period. I suggested that he be hospitalized for about a fortnight to be kept under observation. So Mr. Harriet knew that, like, Mrs. Pumphrey is not the right person for Tricky at this point of time, because it is impossible for Mrs. Pumphrey to stop giving him all these foods. Tricky had completely lost interest in everything. He's just lying there and breathing heavily, and Mr. Harriet had already made a plan, because he knew that the only way over here to save Tricky was to remove him from the environment that he was constantly being pampered and overfed. Like I think she is not understanding what is wrong here, or she doesn't want to understand, right? She's just madly in love, and she's not realizing that her love is basically toxic here, right? So Tricky over here is in a toxic relationship, like in an obsessed relationship. Yes, everyone, which is harmful. So the poor lady almost swooned. She was sure he would pine and die if he did not see her every day, right? But I took a firm line. Tricky was very ill, and this was the only way to save him. In fact, I thought it best to take him without delay. And followed by Mrs. Pumphrey's wailings, I marched out to the car, carrying the little dog wrapped in a blanket. So what happened here is, Mr. Harriet suggested that Tricky should be hospitalized. Like, there is no other way to save this dog, and he needs to be kept in the hospital for treatment for about a fortnight, he said. That means 2 weeks. So that he could be kept under observation, like he could be carefully watched. And Mrs. Pumphrey was so shocked that she almost fainted over here, right? Yes, she almost fainted. She was swooned, it was written here, right? But I took a firm line. Tricky was very ill, and I thought it best to take him without any delay. So the poor lady almost swooned, right? So, followed by Mrs. Pumphrey's wailings, I marched out to the car, carrying the little dog wrapped in a blanket. So, Mrs. Pumphrey believed Tricky would, Tricky would be, I guess, extremely unhappy because of separation, obviously, and die if he could not see her every day. Right. So, however, Mr. Harriet over here remained firm. He knew that separating Tricky from his owner, from his overprotective owner, I would say, was the only way to make him healthy. Right. There is no other way at this point of time. And I think he is right. He's doing the right thing, because sometimes it is best to stay away from people you love, because they are toxic, and I mean it. The entire staff was roused and maids rushed. Oh my god, this is the best part of the chapter, where you will feel jealous, because I did. Rushed in and out, bringing his day bed, his night bed, favorite cushions, toys and rubber rings, breakfast bowl, lunch bowl, supper bowl. Do you have all these things? So Mr. Harriet decided to take Tricky immediately, and without delay he carried the dog to the car. Mrs. Pumphrey followed him, and she was crying loudly and sorrowfully because she was extremely upset about being separate from Tricky. After that, what happened? The entire staff was roused and maids rushed in and out, bringing his day bed. Mrs. Pumphrey's household staff over here became active, roused as an active and excited, and they started bringing all the Tricky's belongings, right? And Tricky had separate day bed, night bed, cushions, rubber bowl, supper bowl, lunch bowl, breakfast bowl, everything. So this shows just how ridiculously pampered Tricky was. Yes or no? He was pampered like anything. I have never seen such pampering before. And this is real. Like, I don't know why. Realizing that my car would never hold all the stuff, I started to drive away. As I moved off, Mrs. Pumphrey with a despairing cry threw an armful of the little coats through the window. I looked in the mirror before I turned the corner of the drive. Everybody was in tears. So Mr. Harriot realized that his car could not possibly hold all the Tricky's stuff, right? Tricky's belongings. So he drove away Mrs. Pumphrey. He drove away, and Mrs. Pumphrey basically gave a loud cry. She was like hopeless, and she was extremely sad, right? And she threw Tricky's coats into the car, right, when he was driving. So yes, I looked in the mirror before I turned the corner of the drive. Everybody was in tears, so everybody seemed sad. Yes. Now what happened? Out on the road, I glanced down at the pathetic little animal gasping on the seat by my side. I patted the head, and Tricky made a brave effort to wag his tail. Poor old lad, I said, you haven't a kick in you, but I think I know a cure for you. So Mr. Harriot looked back and saw that everyone was crying. They were all in tears, and once they were on the road, he looked at Tricky, right, who appeared pathetic, right? He was weak, he was pitiful. So the scene shows how emotionally attached the Pumphrey and her staff were to the dog. They were all very, yes. So poor old lad, I patted the head. So he patted the head, right, and little animal gasping on the seat by my side. So he was sitting there gasping, like breathing with difficulty, right? And I patted the head, and Tricky made a brave effort to wag the tail. So he basically responded in that manner. So he was breathing heavily on the seat, and Mr. Harriot basically comforted him, right, by patting his head like we pat dog's head, na? So he was like, oh, okay. So Mr. Harriot felt sorry for him. Right, over here he's feeling sorry for him, but already knew how exactly, he knew that how I have to cure this baby, how I have to make him healthy again by giving him proper food and exercise rather than Mrs. Pumphrey's excessive pampering, right? He needs fasting. At the surgery, the household dogs surged around me. Tricky looked down at the noisy pack with the dull eyes, and when put down, lay motionless on the carpet. The other dogs, after sniffing around him for a few seconds, decided he was an uninteresting object and ignored him. So he is new over there. So at the veterinary clinic, the household dogs surged around him. So the other dogs immediately came and surrounded Mr. Harriot, and surrounded, obviously, they moved they surged as in they moved suddenly and strongly around him, right? And Tricky looked at the noisy group with tired and lifeless eyes, like with dull eyes, and simply lay still on the carpet. So all the other dogs thought that he's an uninteresting object. No, nothing, he's not like us, right? So I made up a bed for him in a warm, loose box next to the one where the other dogs slept. For 2 days, I kept an eye on him, giving him no food but plenty of water. At the end of the second day, he started to show some interest in his surroundings. And on the third, he began to whimper when he heard the dogs in the yard. So now in this paragraph, he is showing the improvement, right? So the other dogs, they smelled Tricky and they were like, they quickly lost interest, that it's an uninteresting thing. And Mr. Harriet basically prepared a bed for Tricky, right, in a box, in a small box, right, near other dogs. So he was living with them only. So for 2 days, I kept an eye on him, giving him no food but plenty of water. So he gave him no food, only water. So I think water fasting, right? I also need water fasting. I have been planning this to do from for like 2 or 3 months, but I am not able to muster up that courage to actually follow that particular thing. It's really hard to be on like water fasting. Water fasting is quite hard. I can't do that. I do not have that, you know, that resilience. What do you think? Should I go for it? I want to lose weight. I'm stuck at this point and I'm not able to lose weight from that, from like past 1.5 months. I'm exercising and doing everything. Okay, let's come to Mr. Harriet. Carefully actually watched Tricky for 2 days and he gave him no food, he gave him water, and this allowed Tricky's digestive system basically to recover. So by the end of the second day, Tricky showed some interest in his surroundings, like whatever was happening around him, he started taking interest. Other than that, on the first day, he was just lying there and doing nothing, and he was not interested in anything. But after 2 days of water fasting, he actually showed interest, like in the things around him or in his surroundings. So yes, when I opened the door, Tricky trotted out and was immediately engulfed by Joey, the greyhound, and his friends. After rolling him over and thoroughly inspecting him, the dogs moved off down the garden. Tricky followed them, rolling slightly with his surplus fat. So now they are friends. So when Mr. Harriet basically opened the door, Tricky walked with short, quick steps, like trotted short, quick steps outside, and the other dogs immediately like surrounded him. Okay, so yes, they are now becoming friends. Yes, right now at this point of time, they are now becoming friends, and the dogs rolled Tricky over. The dogs rolling him over and thoroughly inspecting him. The dogs moved off down the garden. Tricky followed them, rolling slightly with his surplus fat. So they went into the garden and Tricky obviously followed them, although he still rolled slightly because of his like extra fat, right? But he's trying his best. Later that day, I was present at feeding time. I watched while Tristan slopped the food into the bowls. There was the unusual headlong rush followed by the sounds of high-speed eating. Every dog knew that if he had fell behind the others, he was liable to have some competition for the last part of his meal. So right now, over here, Mr. Harriet watched the dogs being fed, right? And he's noticing everything, and Tristan put the food into the bowls, right? And the dogs immediately like rushed towards it, right, with a very fast and uncontrolled movement, right? They were like, oh my god, I'm gonna eat that, and began eating quickly. They all started eating quickly, right? So every dog knew that if he fell behind the others, he was liable to have some competition for the last part of his meals. So yes, this happens, right? They are dogs, and animals have this have this mindset that whenever they see food, they are like rushing towards it and eating it, right, in a hurry. Every time I have seen dogs, they do this, right? So yes, can you hear? I think they know I'm teaching, I'm talking about them. We are discussing them. Okay, so yes, so the dogs ate quickly because they knew that if they were slow, another dog might eat their remaining food. Right, so after finishing, Tricky walked around the like empty bowls over here. Right, when they had finished, Tricky took a walk around the shining bowls. Yes, shining bowls and licking casually inside one or two of them. Next day, an extra bowl was put out for him and I was pleased to see him jostling his way towards it. So now Tricky wants to eat something. Right, earlier he was not showing interest in eating. He was just lying on the floor and he was breathing heavily and he was not showing any interest in his favorite food items also. So Tricky over here at this point of time is, licking some of the empty bowls, and the next day he was given his own bowl. So next day an extra bowl was put out for him and I was pleased to see him jostling his way towards it. From then on, his progress was rapid. He had no medical treatment for any kind, but all day he ran about with the dogs, joining in their friendly scrimmages. Right, so he basically pushed his way toward it along with the other dogs, and from this point his recovery became very fast. Right, so Mr. Harriot did not give him any medical treatment. Right, yes, he just kept him on water fasting. Like, he did not give him any food, just water. So Mr. Harriot, I think, is a very good surgeon, doctor, because he did not operate him, right? So Tricky received no medical treatment, no medicine at all. Instead, he ran and played with other dogs and he joined their, playful struggles like friendly scrimmages, right? He became an accepted member of the gang, an unlikely silky little object among the shaggy crew, fighting like a tiger for his share at mealtimes and hunting rats in the old house hen. At night, he had never had such a time in his life. So basically, he enjoyed being knocked over, stepped on and squashed during the games, and this exercise helped him basically become healthy. Everything worked out for him. Right? Yes, everything worked for him and he became basically an accepted member of the gang. He is unlikely, he's silky, little object among the shaggy crew. So he looks like a pampered dog. He looks like a branded dog. He looks like so he is smooth and soft-haired, and all the other dogs are basically, they are rough-haired. Right, they are shaggy. Shaggy means they are rough-haired. So he looks completely different among them. Right, he even fought fearlessly for his food. We can clearly see, like a tiger for his share at mealtime. So he was finally behaving like a normal dog, like an active dog. Okay, and he had never had such a time in his life. He was busy eating, I think. Now, Mr. Harriot actually enjoyed Tricky's stay. Now, you'll get to know why. All the while, Mrs. Pumphrey hovered anxiously in the background, ringing a dozen times a day for the latest bulletins. I dodged the questions about whether his cushions were being turned regularly or his correct coat worn according to the weather, but I was able to tell her that the little fellow was out of danger and convalescing rapidly. What is happening here? Tricky had basically never experienced all these things. Like, he had such a great time here. He had never been this active in his life before. So, Mrs. Pumphrey in the meanwhile, Mrs. Pumphrey, she was extremely worried. Like, she she Howard as in she stayed close because of worry and called the surgery many times every day for the latest bulletins, as in latest updates or reports about Tricky. She was like, how he's doing now, is he fine, and all these things. And she started to bring round fresh eggs. She's bringing round fresh eggs and 2 dozens at a time to build up Tricky's strength. Again, she's doing the same thing. She's not understanding that Tricky does not need food. What would have happened if Mr. Harriet did not, bring Tricky over here? It's like, oh God. So Mr. Harriet basically avoided Mrs. Pumphrey's unnecessary questions about Tricky's cushions and Tricky's blankets and Tricky's clothes. And he basically, he did, however, reassure that Tricky was no longer seriously ill and is, he told her that he's recovering well and everything is going fine, right? So, yes. The word convalescing seemed to do something to Mrs. Pumphrey. She started to bring round fresh eggs, 2 dozen at a time, to build up Tricky's strength. So, when Mr. Harriet said that he's recovering from illness, right? He's recovering from illness. This made Mrs. Pumphrey feel that Tricky needed extra nutrition. So she started bringing again all these things like dozens of eggs at a time to help build him up, to increase his strength. Ironically, she was again trying to overfeed him. What kind of a woman she is, I don't understand. She's like stupid or dumb or what? For a happy period, my partners and I had 2 eggs each for breakfast. So we were enjoying all these things. We were not giving it to all these items to Tricky, obviously, because he has just recovered. But when the bottles of wine began to... Wine for the dog! Can you imagine, guys? Wine for our dog, Tricky. Tricky is such a lucky guy. Such a lucky fellow he is. The real possibilities of the situation began to dawn on the household. So Mr. Harriet and his parents, and his partner enjoyed eating the eggs, and Mrs. Pumphrey began sending bottles of wine, and the possibility of situation like they slowly realized what was happening, right? Are you getting my point? Mrs. Pumphrey's concern for Tricky was providing them with luxurious food and drinks and everything. So they were like, we should keep Tricky over here in the surgery for some more time, like for some more days. I think that would be best because we are going to enjoy all these eggs and wines and brandy and everything. It was to enrich Tricky's blood. Okay, to enrich Tricky's blood, wine. Lunch became a ceremonial occasion with 2 glasses of wine before and several during the meal. So Mrs. Pumphrey basically over here believed that wine would improve Tricky's blood and make him stronger. God, this lady, man. But the staff, they ended up drinking it themselves, right? So their lunch became basically a special event. Lunch became a ceremonial occasion with 2 glasses of wine. So they drank, because they drank 2 wine before during the meal, and then Mrs. Pumphrey even, I think, we could hardly believe it. Okay, over here. They were thinking like it's unbelievable. We could hardly believe it when the brandy came to put a final edge on Tricky's constitution. And she finally sent brandy. For a few nights, the fine spirit was rolled around, inhaled, and reverently drunk. Oh my God, I think Mr. Harriet is going crazy. He's like, okay, Tricky cannot enjoy all these things, but I can. I am not that unhealthy that I cannot have all these things. So Mrs. Pumphrey believed that brandy would strengthen Tricky's physical health and Tricky's strength. And basically the staff enjoyed all these alcoholic drinks themselves, right? They drank it very respectfully, almost as if it was almost like it was something sacred. Right? These became like very happy days for them on Tricky's constitution. Okay. They were days of deep content, starting well with the extra egg in the morning, improved and sustained by the midday wine, and finishing luxurious round the fire with the brandy. And it was a temptation to keep Tricky on as permanent guest, but I knew Mrs. Pumphrey was suffering, and after a fortnight felt compelled to phone and tell her that the little dog had recovered and was awaiting collection. So their days became obviously luxurious. Eggs in the morning, wine at the lunch, and brandy in the evening. So Mr. Harriet jokingly, he's not serious over here, he jokingly says that it was tempting to keep Tricky as a guest who never leaves, like a permanent guest, because Tricky's presence meant a constant supply of all these delicious food and drinks and everything, right? But he's a good person, and he knew that Mrs. Pumphrey was suffering, right? And after a fortnight, like after 2 weeks, he felt compelled, like he thought that I should call Mrs. Pumphrey because she's missing, right? Tricky, and Tricky also, Tricky is also missing Mrs. Pumphrey. So she called her and tell her that the little dog had recovered and was awaiting collection. So he's waiting for Mrs. Pumphrey, and like Mrs. Pumphrey was very happy over here. So although Mr. Harriet enjoyed the luxury, he knew that Mrs. Pumphrey was suffering because she missed Tricky's presence, right? And after 2 weeks, he called, like he felt forced, he felt obliged to call her and tell her that Tricky is all right and you can, he has completely recovered and was ready to go home, right? He's waiting. So within minutes, about 30 feet of gleaming black metal drew up. Oh my God. Outside the surgery, the chauffeur opened the door, and I could just make out the figure of Mrs. Pumphrey almost lost in the interior. Her hands were tightly clasped in front of her. Her lips trembled. Oh, Mr. Harriet, do tell me the truth. Is he really better? Yes, he's fine. There is no need for you to get out of the car. I'll go and fetch him. So very quickly, basically a huge, shiny, black luxury car arrived. Shining brightly, right? Black metal describes the expensive car. And a professional driver opened the door, and Mr. Harriet could barely see Mrs. Pumphrey inside because the car was so large and so luxurious. And yes, she was almost lost in the interior. And Mrs. Pumphrey almost lost in the interior. Her hands were tightly clasped in front of her. Her lips trembled. Oh, Mr. Harriet, do tell me the truth. Is really better. So Mrs. Pumphrey looked very nervous. Her hands were like held tightly together, clasped together. And she was very nervous, and her lips were trembling. And she was saying, oh, is it really better? She desperately wanted to know whether Tricky had truly recovered or not. Okay. Amazing. So this shows how emotionally attached she was with Tricky, right? She was to him. Yes, he is fine. There is no need for you to get out of the car. I'll go and fetch him. So, yes, he says that, yes, he's completely fine. Do not come out of the car. Do not get out of the car, and I'll go and I'll bring him or fetch him. I walked through the house into the garden. A mass of dogs was hurtling round and round the lawn, and in their midst, ears flapping, tail waving, was the little golden figure of Tricky. In 2 weeks, he had been transformed into a lithe, hard-muscled animal. He was keeping up well with the pack, stretching out in great bounds, his chest almost brushing the ground. Oh my God, that's too much of explanation, right? I think this is too much. So Mr. Harriot reassured her that Tricky was completely fine, and he told her that she could remain in the car, and he went to the garden to bring Tricky, and there was a large group of dogs. You know, they were moving very fast around the lawn, and there Tricky was also among them, right? The golden figure, tail waving, ears flapping, and he is now an active dog. He has like muscles and everything. He was keeping up well with the pack, so he became friendly with all the other dogs in the surgery, right? Stretching out in great bounds, his chest almost brushing the ground. He got all these muscles and everything. So Tricky was running happily among all these dogs and other dogs, and his ears were moving, and his tail was wagging, and in just 2 weeks, right, he has been completely changed. He was completely changed, and he became slim. He became flexible and like strong and muscular and everything, right? I carried him back along the passage to the front of the house. The chauffeur was still holding the car door open, and when Tricky saw his mistress, he took off. He took off from the arms in a tremendous leap and sailed into Mrs. Pumphrey's lap. She gave a startled "oh" and then had to defend herself as he swarmed over her, licking her face and barking. During the excitement, I helped the chauffeur to bring out the beds, toys, cushions, coats, and bowls, none of which had been used. As the car moved away, Mrs. Pumphrey leaned out of the window. Tears shone in her eyes. Her lips trembled. "Oh, Mr. Harriot," she cried, "how can I ever thank you? This is a triumph of surgery." So, over here, this is like the final, like when Tricky saw Mrs. Pumphrey, he immediately became very excited, right? And he made a very large leap from Mr. Harriot's arms and jumped straight into her lap, and this proves that Tricky was also missing her. Tricky was very happy to see his owner, right? And during the excitement, I helped so during all like all these things were happening, and Mr. Harriot was helping the driver to bring all these toys and cushions and everything, like all Tricky's belongings. And as the car moved away, Mrs. Pumphrey leaned out of the window. Tears shone in her eyes, her lips trembled. Oh, Mr. Harriot. So she was like very grateful at this point of time, right? She was very surprised when Tricky jumped into her lap, and she was very grateful right now at this point of time, and she's thanking Mr. Harriot. How can I ever thank you? This is a triumph of surgery. And that's how this chapter ends. It's a beautiful chapter, and I personally love this chapter. I hope you all enjoyed this triumph of surgery, right? So, yes. So, what is the meaning of a triumph of surgery? A great success of medical treatment, basically. Okay. Got it? Got it, everyone? Yes. So, Mr. Harriot had performed no surgery basically on Tricky and given him no medicine, no surgery, no medicine. Tricky became healthy simply because he was given proper food, exercise, company of other dogs, like he played everywhere with other dogs, and less pampering. Right? So Mrs. Pumphrey completely misunderstands what actually cured Tricky. So what are the main problems? Can you please comment in the comment section what you should remember from this chapter? What are the main problems? Mrs. Pumphrey overfed, over-pampered Tricky, and that's why Tricky's condition, right, got worse. He became fat, he became lazy, he felt weak, he felt unhealthy, he was not able to enjoy everything, he was breathing heavily. And how Mr. Harriot actually treated? Did he perform any surgery? No. Did he give any medicine? No. He gave no medicine, no surgery, only controlled food, water, exercise and interaction with other dogs. That's it. So discipline is important in everyone's life. Tricky became, you can clearly see that Tricky became slim, like muscular and active and happy and healthy and everything. Right? When he was eating so much, he was not feeling good. His eyes were like rheumy and bloodshot. Right? So title of this chapter, A Triumph of Surgery, is, I think, ironic. Do you also think the title of this chapter is ironic? Because there was no surgery at all. Right? And the title says Triumph of Surgery. So there was no surgery at all. Mrs. Pumphrey simply believes that Mr. Harriot's medical skill cured Tricky, but that was not the case. Right? So what is the main message? Can you please comment in the comment section what is the main message of this chapter? True love means doing what is best for someone. That is true love. Not giving them everything they want. That's not true love. Mrs. Pumphrey loved Tricky, but her excessive affection and pampering nearly killed, nearly made him seriously ill. So Mr. Harriot's practical approach saved him over here. Right? So yes, that's it. And wait a minute, just give me 1 second. And guys, before we continue, I have something really exciting for you. If you are serious about your studies and you want a chance to win huge scholarships and rewards, you should definitely check out Mega Vedantu Scholarship Admission Test, that is MVSAT. And listen to these numbers very carefully. Number 1, 100% scholarship, like up to 100% scholarship on Vedantu courses. Right? 150 crore worth of scholarships. Get a chance to secure your, you can know like where you stand, like you can know like your AIR in 2.5 lakh students. 2 crore worth of cash prize and rewards. So this is not just a test, it's an opportunity to test yourself, compete with students across the country and earn scholarship for your preparation. And what you know, do you know what's the best part? You have nothing to lose. Right? You just need to give it your best shot. So if you're confident about your preparation, or if you want to know where you stand, basically, MVSAT is worth attempting. Give this test, challenge yourself, and who knows, you could be the next scholarship winner. So we have the link in the comment section, in the description. Click on the link. Register now. The dates are 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 10th and 11th October. So these are the test dates. we have given this link in the description where you have to fill your information, what's your name, where do you live, in which class you are, and everything. Okay, and then register, and you need to register now. These are the exam dates, and we all are going to support you. We are all going to guide you regarding this test, like what sort of questions you are going to get in this exam. And we are definitely planning to prepare you all for this test, and we really hope that all of you will attempt this test, because I think it's a great opportunity for all of you. Okay, so yes, bye-bye everyone. I hope you liked today's session. If you're new to this channel, please do subscribe to the channel, and bye-bye. Take care. All the best.